So I got the fuel system done. I'm going to talk about kind of some of the learning curve or mistakes I made on the way, the parts I needed to use, and how I was able to keep the stock gas tank behind the seat and some of the plumbing that's used with it. So I took out the mechanical fuel pump because we don't need it anymore, using the electric fuel pump. And that actually kind of cleaned up some space, which is nice. There's a plate down there that's covering where the mechanical fuel pump went. The bolts that were used originally were too long, so I had to find some bolts of my own to put the plate on. So I also got the, on the right here, this is the source. That's our supply, this hose right here, right there. And then on this side is the return. So that's all using the fittings that came with the kit. So let's get into the truck here. Okay, so I'm going to start up at the front. So the first thing I did is I actually covered the fuel lines with gold heat reflective tape, and I ran them down kind of along the firewall, and I added a stainless steel kind of secure, I don't know what the name of those are, those rubber things. I got a kit of those on Amazon, and so the both the supply and the return run along here. So what you're seeing now, this is the start of where I have the fuel pump, electric fuel pump. That's the post pump filter, and I also wrapped it with the heat reflective stuff, just because it's, I don't know, like 4 or 5 inches away from the headers. Just wanted to be a little more cautious. So the fuel pump, there we see it along the frame, and let's see, a little better shot, the fuel pump, the pre-filter. So this is basically where the electric fuel pump is. I don't have the wires done yet, but it goes up the firewall to where we saw on the EFI unit. The return line is, try to get this to focus. Okay, so the return line is just along the bottom of the frame rail, and yeah, there we go. So I've got it attached at a few places with those same rubber attachments and grommets. And what's neat, especially for the EFI pump here, as I didn't have to drill any holes. There were actually some holes on the top side of the frame rail that I was able to use. And so basically both lines are running along the frame rail. Now let's get to the back here. So first thing is I'm using the 3/8 fuel line that was included with the kit. Right there I put in a 90-degree elbow, which I had to go buy. And then this goes up and it does a little bit of a turn and goes into, you can see that connection there. That is basically the stock metal line that comes from the fuel tank. Okay, so 3/8 inch hose into that, and into the 90, into the fuel pump. Below, this is the return. So it goes up, and this is where I had to do a bunch of trial and error. So what we're looking at here is, on the left, that's the 3/8 inch hose that comes with it. Comes with the kit. What it's connected to is a step down fitting. So the step down fitting goes from 3/8 to 1/4. And then I've got a little tiny section, about 2 inches of 1/4 inch fuel hose. And then that goes into the factory 1/4 inch steel return line. And so that goes up into the stock tank. Okay, so this is how I was able to use the factory fuel tank, some of the factory metal lines, and everything was pretty straightforward, except for I had to find this adapter for 3/8 to 1/4. So I'll put a link on where I got that on Amazon in the description below. And I got the clamps from Vibrant on Amazon, so I got the O2 sensor installed as well. All right, so happy to have the fuel system done, And what's next? Well, electrical, I haven't even started on it at all, so gonna hit that and make some progress. Hopefully it's up and running again pretty soon.